All right, man. So I realized again, I wasn't even recording. I'm doing all this talking and everything, but I wasn't even recording. I just noticed that because my camera just fell off my head. I hit it on top of something doing my pre-trip. This train loud as mud. Let me put y'all back on top of me. Put y'all back up here. All right. I had a feeling this was gonna start happening with this little clip-on thing I got for the mount. It's a little cheap clip thing, and it don't seem to be clipping no more. Let me try some here. Oh well, this is gonna have to do. I just can't hit nothing. But like I was saying, man, in my video yesterday, let me make sure. Let me look at my phone, make sure I'm still recording. Okay, we still going. Like I said in my video yesterday, man, you don't have to quit trucking to have what you want necessarily. Because of the video I was going into, the guy he was talking about, he was talking about how he got to get off the road and he got to, so he can see his family and everything like that. Trying loud as hell. So he got to see his family and everything like that. So he got to get off the road. He got to quit trucking and all that stuff. And I was just, before I realized I wasn't recording, I was just talking about all of the different opportunities that you have in trucking, man. Like when I used to go down to Florida all the time when I was working at Sigma first time, and I used to go down to Florida, I used to see like down in Georgia and Tennessee and yeah, even Florida and all of that. I used to see different companies that we have up here in St. Louis per se, doing different things, right? Like I've seen Everett pulling reefer. Everett does have a regional um, a regional division where I guess they do a little LTL and a little full FTL, full truckload as well, right? AAA Cooper. I've seen them pulling flatbeds down there in Georgia, right? Um, and I've seen other companies too. I've seen other companies too doing various different things. I was not on duty. I didn't peep that. I've seen other companies doing various different things. And here, I might as well take y'all off now. I don't want to come off. Anyway, as I was saying, I've seen companies doing various different things in different regions of the country. So you don't necessarily have to stick to one thing in trucking. You can do a bunch of different things. You can do a myriad of different things. Look at me trying to sound smart, using big words and shit. That ain't even a big word. But anyway, you don't have to just stick to OTR or whatever you may be doing. As I said in the video, my first trucking job was at XPO. And every major city that you go to, I'm pretty sure that they have plenty of opportunities, right? Especially down south, especially in Texas, especially in the Midwest, and even up there in the Northeast. You have various different options. Like every time I go up to Michigan, I'm seeing tankers like these guys right here but they got about 100 axles on them. You know what I'm saying? And I see them all the time up there in Michigan and on that Michigan-Indiana border, right? What exactly they do, I don't know. Why they need all those axles, I'm not sure. But it's something that you can get into if you in that region, if you up in that area. It's something that you can look into, and I'm pretty sure those of you all who from Michigan, you probably more informed about it for me. But I'm just telling y'all what I see, right? So you don't have to quit trucking or jump from behind the steering wheel to be able to have and enjoy the life that you want to have, right? All you really need to do is figure out what you want, what's important to you, and find the job and the field that works for you, right? For me, in my personal opinion, well, it is what only matters to me in my life, but what works for me is being on the road, coming home on the weekends, being able to get 2,500, 3,000, 3,500 miles, coming home on the weekend. That's what I enjoy doing. I don't want to be home. You know, I don't want to be home. I don't want to be home every night. That's not what I want to do. But I also don't necessarily want to be out on the road a month, 2 months at a time necessarily. So now it's something I've done. I'm willing to do it. I did it when I was at American Central Transport, even though I was only there for 2 months. But I was out for like, the longest I was out at ACT was like 3.5 weeks, I think. So, you know, I've done it, and I actually enjoyed it. And again, any job that I was at, if there was, now Sigma was a little bit different, but if I was at ACT, American Central Transport, if I was there and I was making, like, taking home $1,500, $1,600 a week, because I was willing to run the miles, I probably still would have been there, because I wouldn't have no problem with that. At Martin, if I was consistently bringing home $1,500, $1,600 a week, I probably still would have been there. Only reason I left Sigma was because of the truck situation. Of course, what I learned by going to Martin and ACT, a new truck don't matter to me if I'm not making money. A new truck means nothing to me if I'm not making any money. But, you know, I had to get that experience to learn that for myself and to actually see what I had when I was at Sigma. Now I'm here, and, you know, it's not the best truck per se, but it's better than what I had, and it's something that I'm happy with. I'm cool with, you know. So it's working out. You know, only thing now is just that with I'm guessing corporate is changing suppliers, and corporate is changing some things up. So routes that I had a month ago, I don't have anymore. So, like, if you remember any of my previous videos before I deleted the other ones, you would know I used to go down to Pacific, Missouri and pick up a load and take that up to Monroe, Michigan. And I used to do that 2 times a week, right? So, like, this would be a week that I would typically be doing that run, but they changed suppliers. They moved it to somewhere in Minnesota or something like that, right? And it don't make sense for me to drive from St. Louis to Minnesota just to go pick up a load to take it to Michigan. It don't make sense. So that's why I'm doing shuttles all this week. I'm going to be in Virginia, Pennsylvania this weekend, starting Sunday, head up to Chicago, head to Virginia, Pennsylvania. And that was another thing. When I was here previously, we used to do that 2 times a week. Virginia and Pennsylvania, we used to do that 2 times a week. Now it's only 1 time a week. Um, so yeah, it's some changes. So hopefully now when we go in towards the warmer season, things are going to get busier. Hopefully things are going to change for the up and up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still making money. I'm still making pretty good money here at Sigma. I'm satisfied with my paychecks and all of that. But it's just that I just remember when I used to stack certain weeks on top of certain weeks. You know what I mean? And that's what I was looking for too. But it ain't necessarily like that still as of right now. But hopefully things change to get better. But yeah, man, that's what I wanted to get on here and say for this portion. Again, sorry for y'all who are watching my videos and you just saw that the joints was abruptly deleted off of my channel. Just wanted to make sure I'm doing the right thing when it comes to company policy, because you do see the company logos in my videos, you do see the trucks in my videos, so everybody's gonna know who I work for, and that's fine. I don't really care if you know who I work for or not. As long I just got to make sure that I'm doing what I got to do. That's all. I just got to make sure that I'm covering my ass and making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm making social media content. Because they don't care if you make social media content as long as you abide by the policy. And you're not doing things, you ain't out here being a dumb-dumb. I'll say that. You ain't out here being a dumb-dumb. So, yeah, man, that's all I wanted to get on here and say. Might catch up with y'all when I'm back in Danville or back down here or tomorrow.